Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Modeling. In this episode, I want to give you some kind of new concepts in terms of modeling using SVerchok add-on. So basically, it's allowing you to kind of model something like this, but basically to be able to more specifically mask and select the index of procedural mesh and kind of working that way. So it's still kind of like a topic in conversations. Probably it's something that will change and for the better in the future. We don't know yet, but let's get started. So the new nodes that's allowing you to do this is actually still pretty new. It was only a few days ago. It's still kind of an idea. Zevi, actually one of SVerchok developer, made this node. So the node itself is pretty simple. Basically, whatever you select in edit mode, this node supposedly to grab the index. And yes, let's have a look actually how this actually should work. So you probably feel like you want to use viewer bmesh, and yeah, but for now I will just use viewer draw. So this is the process. Hopefully you can understand this easily. Let's say we have this 3x3, right, 4x4 vertices with 9 faces, or maybe just make it 16. And I'm gonna bake it. So we have this, I call this intermediate object. And if you go to edit mode, by default, the face is all selected. I'm gonna select just a bunch of them. Or actually just select a bunch of them. I'm gonna go back to object mode. I'm gonna grab this object and then see what's gonna happen here. I was selecting the face, but we have you can see here we have the true and false. The one that's true is the face that's been selected. So I can be inside here and then make changes, and this will update. Okay, so that's basically it. If we want to extrude it, let's say extrude separate face or extrude region, which one you like. We simply this is how I'm gonna work. I'm gonna continue from the original plane mesh. So I don't know why my computer is getting slower. Sorry. Anyway, plug this in, and the mask goes in here, and continue. And extrude. Okay, so you can see already how this I think supposed to work. So and so that's actually basically in the nutshell how this is actually working. But what interesting, however, is that let's say we want to continue with this. Then I'm gonna bake that. So we have the second intermediate object. So I'm gonna be using this guy now, and this one's like that. I'm gonna grab just this face, for example. Actually, just 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, we're gonna continue from this guy and gonna extrude it further. You know, the mask the mask will work, and we're gonna have viewer draw there, and we have just expected. One thing kind of like a gotcha. It's like you can't really go back here and then change the face over there and then expect everything will kind of uh, what do you call it, rolling down. There might be something that allowing you to do that, kind of like a shape keys, but I don't know that yet. It's like a shape keys in Blender must have something like that. So if you have like a character with the shape keys and you make changes, and then things can actually work that way. What I was talking about is that, let's say let's say I make it like this and I bake this guy and then I zero out everything. And I bake. So this guy is like original mesh, but we can kind of shape keys this guy, join as shape, and then we can maybe animate it. I think that's kind of the idea. But anyway, let's actually try to make something with this really strange ways to do the modeling. I call it like a semi-procedural way of modeling. It's actually more like I was thinking how we can more visually modeling here in 3D view, but using SVerchok. So I'm gonna start with a box. I will try to make like some kind of robot. No, my computer is a bit slow. I might just close Safari. Okay. Wow. What's going on? Maybe it's downloading in the background. Okay, simple box. Subdivided 3 by 3. We have a Rubik's cube. Okay, cool. Selection, grabber, file, save as, robot. So of course in the future we hopefully can do this like a lot faster, almost like if you go to edit mode here and then you can kind of get this as a macro. Okay, bake. So this is the first intermediate object I want to grab. I will start with the arm of the robot. So face select, create the arm. Okay, just put the arm up there. Extrude, separate face. So now create this. Height, scale. Okay, you got the drill. Maybe you'll start to understand where this is actually gonna go. It's actually quite fun. So bake that. Yeah, I moved that to the side. And then I'm gonna continue with... okay. That's a gut. That's actually, be careful with this. You can easily select multiple objects and go to edit mode and you lost the first selections. Be careful with that. Select, that's for the leg. See, this number will grow and I will make it like that so you can see clearly. This is going to be the leg. And again, viewer draw. Right. This is quite interesting. And continue with this. Just bake and put this to the side. select only this guy, and we're gonna make the head maybe we can use the matrix this time. With the matrix, you can have more control. Maybe not this one. There's one that's actually can allow you to do multiple matrix. Okay, we need face mask. So we have our robot. Let's actually try extrude region. This one allow you to do multiple extrude at the same time using the matrix. So let's try that. Can delete that. Maybe for the robot we want to have neck. Yeah, this maybe this input have a bunch of them, so you can extrude multiple times. But you also want to scale, maybe do it this way. Scale is 1 by default. Maybe you want to scale this one like so. Scale actually affect the extrusion as well. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, that's a good start, I guess. You can definitely continue, and we currently only using extrude region. I mean, nothing too fancy there. Perhaps at some point you want to do split and also inset and things like that. That's definitely possible. Probably not easy the first time, but once you get a hang of it. So now you have this guy, for example, you want, I don't know, maybe you want to do subdivide or split, but maybe do something simple for now, just inset on the hand and the face. So inset, so there is a extrude with inset. Okay, extrude region with inset like behavior. And you can hide all of this. Okay, that's actually quite neat. Actually, I don't mind that. But you can also push it in, right, as inset. But I think that's pretty cool. So now with this setup, like I said, we have to be careful. I'm gonna save this first. I'll save as. If you accidentally select all the previous intermediate objects and go to edit mode, and then you make changes here, be very careful. It's gonna change everything. I'm gonna leave it as it is, you know. you could, like with the last intermediate object, you can always add something like that, and then this will update, of course, this guy, but then you can remove it. This one will update. So with this setup, you can think of it like building a tower with cards. You can always go back. So this is what makes it really quite interesting for me. So this is like how I always want something to have in Blender. There's another add-on, right? Sorcar actually can be perfect for this if Sorcar is actually more stable. But I'm using SVerchok because I think SVerchok has something that Sorcar doesn't have. Ideally, we can go back here, and then for things like, for example, the arm itself become separate objects that you can continue working on, and the leg itself. This is for the leg, right? You can move the legs and work separately on that, and then the head part with all the details become separate objects. But for now, we're just gonna leave it as it is. Here's a basic setup, but this works as an example. You can bake, and this is our final robot, but only one of the design. This is the final one. You can export. Super basic, but you got the idea. And because with this method, you know what's really happening is that it's almost like we are modeling inside. This is what can make something like SVerchok become more powerful, working in edit mode, but also on the top object level, while the nodes is actually get built up automatically. Oh, currently it's not automatic, of course. We work mostly on the nodes, but it will be nice to work here and then these nodes being generated on the fly. Almost like a box cutter and modifiers. The way it works is like really quite brilliant. When I'm talking about box cutter, of course, this is box cutter add-on, and yeah, it's where you can quickly make a cut and just like that. And this one is building modifiers, of course. Anyway, yeah, hopefully you find this useful and interesting. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.